surprised at all.
So,
What's up? What's happening? Oh, we're making news today. Hit that like and share the show, everybody. Get us off to a good start. Let me grab us while I'm at it. And I'm always at it. Content live. We are excellent. Grab shareable link. Excellent. Almost there. Blue Sky even, and Instagram, and every other site. Let me jump straight in here and say hello to everybody. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. How's it going? Welcome to Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. I'm Hal Sparks, and I will continue to be Hal Sparks for the rest of the show if you're good. If you're lucky and can be trusted. By the way, this is the greatest. Oh, I'm just like, hold on. What in the world? There we go. Hold on. All right, there we go. I've been I've been playing around under my desk again. All right. Yeah. I'm by the way, I got something and I'm not going to use it today because I tried and my camera will have to be repositioned. I got myself one of these little like standing boards, so that when you're standing, you don't waste your energy. But the problem with it is it adds, it makes me look like Bob Seska guest hosting. So I can't quite use it yet. That's the thing with it. I mean, it's not a bad look. I'll just have to readjust everything. But until that time, it's good if I'm just working. So, anyways, where do we get started? Let me throw this together. Hi, excellent. Everything's up and running. Cool. Seska's very cool. We need to have him back on very soon to sort this out. By the way, I'm on Blue Sky. It's at halsparks.com. What could be easier? Come on. What about Bob? I agree. You think I have Game of Thrones hair? I think it's more like elf hair, but sure. And I apologize ahead of time to those of you that are going to freak out when I get highlights. I'm experimenting next week sometime with some blonde streaks in it for Nerd Halen as my mix of David Lee Rothishness happens. So I know some people hate change, but it's harmless change being what it is. So yeah, just expect. Yeah. Anyways, we have lots to talk about, lots to cover today. Not the least of which is that there's been a bunch of what I guess do we call them mask off moments at this point with these douchebags where they like, because I kind of been telling you there was no mask in the first place. Also hit the like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. I don't know why this page won't load and let me know where the chat is currently, but at this point I don't care. I can see you talking, and that's all that matters. Excellent. There we go. Now it's loading again. I did remember to turn on Instagram. As a matter of fact, if you're on Instagram in there, say hi. Yeah, Andrea has just said hello all in there, and I'm awfully off center in the. Hold on, let me fix that. Insta people. There we go. Watch this. Yeah, it's a little better. I think it's because of my positioning, just kind of getting settled in. It's a thing. Anyways, so wait, hold on one second. I think my monitor is on in the other room and the show is just blasting. Well, sorry. Hi. Now that's better. I don't know why, but my wall Alexa just started playing NPR News. I don't know why that would be, as it were. It just was doing that right outside the door there. Just all of a sudden decided. You gotta love. I think it's getting jealous with all my robot stuff because it's stuck on the wall, and I've been playing around with my robots lately, and I built. Three now? Two full ones. One of them I like. You know what? Let me tell you, folks. And I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But I wish if I knew now what if I knew then what I know now, I would have zeroed my servos right out of the box. And I know you know what I'm talking about. But never forget to zero your servos, kids. Because, trust me, you'll thank me later. That's all I'm going to say. Am I braining again for everyone? Am I being rudely brainiac? I got you. All right. Anyways, so because what happens is your robot will break its own neck. Just saying. So mine's okay. It recovered. It'll be fine. But yeah, that's what happens. Anyways, so back to, sorry, I'm busy on like Earth 1.2 beta that I'm building. But in the meantime, apparently, if I may, oh, by the way, I added something just in case we need it. In case you need the master. All right, just yeah, because you might need the master. And who's the master? I am the master. So that said, let's check in with some dumbos right now, if I may. Where's that guy? That button. Is that going to do it? Where is it? There we go. Wake up, you little crazy button. Excellent. And there it goes. Apparently, Roseanne doesn't think women should vote anymore. Now, this has been a right-wing thing for a long time. I'm seldom shocked, as it were, as we start seeing some of the more egregious, awful, that, you know, when these people let their freak flag fly, you know, it's awful. This is the kind of stuff you don't say in general in public because you'll be shut down because you should. So, but this idea that it's somehow new is ridiculous, because if you'll recall, I wish I could find the clip, and maybe CSL will go on a hunt for it. There's a clip of Rush Limbaugh back in the day, and probably I saw it because he said it more than once, right? Was the idea that, and this is a loose quote, but it's pretty much on the nose, is that all of our problems started in the country when women got the right to vote. That's the long and short of it. That's honestly. And that's, you know, it's one of these like flippant, when he was saying feminazis and all this stuff, that you kind of wrote off as like, you know, edutainment. You know what I mean? Like, he's just being an edgelord dick, and that's how you get ratings, and you say shit like that, but you don't really mean it. It's kind of like an Andrew Dice Clay was a character that Andrew Clay came up with. You know what I mean? And turns out, no, they really fucking mean it. They really do. And, well, I don't know how seriously she takes it or her son takes it, because he's laughing in this moment. But, I mean, I've never seen any son weaponize and monetize the mental decay of a parent like this before. Like, this is Knives Out level shit.
So Trump wins in this MAGA landslide, right? Like, none of us expect.
Not a landslide, 1.5% difference, lower margin than Hillary had at the popular vote. Not a landslide by any means. I
mean, we knew it, but we weren't.
The only place he didn't win is where they don't ask for voter ID. How fucking obvious is that?
Well, I want to just set this. Also,
not even close to true. There's a bunch of places he lost where they have voter ID, and I mean, it's just silly. This is just a carrying myth. It's just a floaty myth. Like, yeah, it was magic. Notice how he wins everywhere they check ID. Yeah, right.
Point, and then I'll back off. They were saying that 15 million people, they being the Democrats, Trump wins this landslide on election night, right? He wins.
No, it wasn't a landslide. No, wasn't a landslide. And also, you can't have MAGA landslide. What does that just mean? That you got your own side out?
Popular vote, he wins the Electoral College, and all of a sudden,
all 7 swing states.
Right, and they're saying, wait a minute, something's them being the Democrats are saying, wait a minute, we had 81 million votes for Biden, we've got 60-something at that time. For Kamala, there's 15 million votes, and even Elon Musk and X put on community notes, hey, they're still counting. So they were already setting up this conspiracy theory. They, being the Democrats, were now election denying, saying there's 15 million votes. Elon stole the fucking votes through Starlink. They had all these crazy shit. These are the people that are trying to put us in jail.
You know, all they do is an hour.
Okay, by the way, nobody tried to put you in fucking jail for saying any of that shit. It was the storming the Capitol and beating cops and taking a shit in the rotunda and stealing a laptop and trying to sell it to the fucking Russians. That's what people got arrested for. Nobody got arrested for talking shit about this. It's just so lazy.
Glass flip, and I've talked about MK Ultra hourglass flips, like when they flipped the Democrats and Republicans so that the Democrats could then call the Republicans the racists when it was them all along, KK.
Right. Yes, the MK Ultra caused the civil rights era. That caused the Dixiecrats to abandon the Democrats and become Republicans because, you know, during the civil rights era. It wasn't the actual bill, the Civil Rights Act, that you can trace all of them talking about it to exactly why they became Republicans. It's a deep state plot by the derp state.
Okay, right. Jim Crow, everything.
No, not Jim. No. Too easy. Stop with this whole Jim Crow everything. You don't get to fucking make truth stew out of chunks of rotten meat, you fucking weirdo. I am tired of this. I am tired of everybody just like, it's like they walk up to a tree of the unknown and they just pick whatever fruit from it they can match together. I don't understand this, and I don't understand this, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. So I'll just mix it all together and call it the same fucking thing. It's so aggravating. It's not, and she's not special. Joe Rogan does the same fucking thing. Just letting you know. Like, it's the same stupid shit. Anything they don't understand, they go, the deep state's behind it, the Illuminati, it's the MK Ultra, they're running the whole thing. It's like, what is it? Is there a complexity phobia? Do we have a name for it?
Deep state, the mind controllers, the people that own the world, they...
Who apparently installed Trump, because if they own the world, whoever's in charge is their pick, no matter if you think you picked them or not, dum-dum. Where does it end? Why does Trump magically get through and you're like, oh, okay, clearly they don't run the world now because my guy got through.
They can't think of nothing but two things, so they can't come up with any new plan. They just do a flip.
Yeah, it's
and
like
now they're doing a flip, and they're going to do a January 6th insurrection.
You think okay, so hold on before we get there.
No.
If they can.
So they're saying that...
What do you mean, if they can? You think the first one took a lot of fucking work?
Trump cheated with Elon Musk.
Well, that's where they're going.
But here's the thing. The counts keep coming. So here's the funniest thing. That's what I want to talk about. The Democrats are so stupid. So they knew they couldn't... They lost. They got out. They couldn't cheat big enough to beat the rig. We were too big to rig. So they were like, okay, well, we can't get the executive branch. We probably have lost the Senate, but we can still cheat. We can cheat Carrie Lake out of Arizona. We can cheat somehow.
Yeah, that's what happened. It wasn't that she was a lunatic that was rejected by the John McCain state in the first place. They cheated her out of it.
They gave him Carrie Lake. I know they did.
They gave him a few, and then they were like, we can't give them the House by 60 people because, or not 60, I'm sorry, whatever it is, 200. Forgive me for the numbers, but there's a point.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. None of these numbers mean anything. You think 1.5% difference in the vote is a landslide? So clearly Hillary Clinton doubled Trump's landslide in 2016, right? We can at least agree on that? All right. Numbers. What are you talking about? Numbers. All right, he's good.
Where you can't even filibuster anymore. We have such a mandate. Like there's Democrats.
So they're leaving us with one.
So there's about a 1 seat difference right now. So they stole seats in the House. So the House is
Hold on. First of all, the filibuster's in the Senate, and of course you can still filibuster. It only takes one, stupid. And Thune left the filibuster intact. They didn't lose them. Good Lord. What are Roseanne and her son drinking? I think it's more what they are. They are gummying. They are edibling.
The least powerful branch, part of the legislative branch, part of the government, but it's still important.
Yeah,
so
thank God they still have Mike Johnson in there instead of what's his face, Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, no,
he's a fucking Muslim Brotherhood.
I was good. I was wondering, how long it would take them. There we got it. Look at you. Yeah, all the video clips of him are other liberals covering him 12 years ago. Here's Pac-Man, 4-minute Rush Limbaugh. Trouble started when women started voting. Yeah, that's I'll see if I can. Yeah, let's bring this clip up now. Why don't we? There's Dave Pac-Man jumping in
Rush
here.
Rush Limbaugh says, actually.
Was Pac-Man ever so young? Hold on, let's see if he plays the clip. Is that when did he have a co-host back then or a producer or something? Jesus Christ, man. How long does it take you to play the actual clip? Or you just play the audio? Look at little David Pac-Man. Little Davey Pac-Man back in the day. Still broadcasting from his college dorm back then, was he?
talking points to go over, and Romney just and is just shocked
about his history that would suggest. Why stop there, though? The real problems began when black people called that woman a slut a couple months ago.
Was that
He's been on a long time.
Why?
Pacman's been on a long time. This is a 12-year-old clip. I think they're just talking about it. Is there a moment where he actually clips it, or is he just talking about the fact that Limbaugh loosely said it, or is it just audio? Son of a bitch. Whatever. Anyways, okay. Back to these guys. We'll find it. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to let you
They
go.
was all trying to do Muslim Brotherhood takeover of this country with China behind them.
Okay, let me just finish.
What? Wait. Why is China? Hold on. I need to know this. Why is, please explain. Please God. Please Lord, bless us all. Let this dizzy asshole explain to me why China would back the Muslim Brotherhood. Is it like a trade for being able to like genocide the Uyghurs?
So fuckers, you're going straight to hell. I hope you know that.
Democrats had to keep cheating.
Wait, who? China for backing them, or the Muslim Brotherhood for siding with an atheist communist organization that vaguely runs China currently?
Because they couldn't give us the House majority to the point where they couldn't do anything. So they started cheating House seats. But in doing so, they had to keep the counts open, they had to push illegal votes, and they had to keep counting popular votes for Kamala to make it to cover their cheat. So now Kamala is with...
Or this is just how the vote went. By the way, you can't start with like Democrats are going to Jan 6 and we're all freaking out about it being rigged and stuff, and then switch back to we rigged it. Dude, if we rigged it, we'd have just run away with it. For real. Shit, Biden still could. He's got powers that no other president has ever fucking had. Dude, if he wanted to, he would.
Within 1% of the population.
Sorry, did somebody just go like Candace Owens is live on? Yeah, she gets 25,000 viewers in the chat. Yeah, but she's got a bunch of bots too. That said, she is insane and she's an attractive black woman, and so I guess right wingers can perv out while hating her at the same time. It's so much emotion tied up in it. Nothing's quite as shocking as watching someone hate the person they're attracted to. It's like the old Lenny Bruce bit, about like go to a racist man and go, all right, you have your choice of a black woman or a white woman. The white woman is a white woman. Black woman is a black woman. These are your choices. You flip a coin. The white woman is Shelley Winters, and the black woman is Lena Horne, right? Fuck, right.
The vote. I don't know if you know this.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's at like 74, he's at 76, something like that. And now they're saying Trump didn't really have a mandate. So they've switched. They went from, this is what I want to talk to you about. The Dems went from Starling stole votes, 15 million people are missing, they didn't count our ballots, Trump cheated, to now Trump only won the popular vote by less than 1%. It's not a mandate.
It's not less than 1%. It's 1.5%. It'll probably get down to 1.2 by the end of all the counts being certified in California because it's a big fucking state. You're a silly person. That's the reality. Again, they were waiting for votes to come in that never came in. And then the votes that finally came in, that's the margin. Suck it.
Because they kept counting. So they're so dumb, they keep painting themselves in a corner where they're like, we have to cheat to cover the cheat. And if we get caught cheating now, they'll look at 2020 where we cheated.
That's why I say they're so stupid.
They are.
That's where it all points to.
Absolutely.
Why would this point to 2020? Why would the difference in, first of all, 2020 doesn't match any other voting period. This is closer to 2016 and a flip-flop of what happened then, and a slight exaggeration and a bunch of people checking out. 2020 isn't measurable with anything. because of COVID, when everybody had their fucking vote postmated to them. Getting people up off the couch to go vote is a much bigger deal than having people be able to vote from home no matter who they are. That's it.
And that's Q. Future proofs past.
Future proofs past.
So kiss my Q.
Future proofs past. Sorry, the thing that hasn't happened yet proves the thing that you don't even remember correctly. Cool. All right. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Fast.
So we'll get into this, but that's what Democrats are saying now is,
They
Kamala
always
did
walk
really well.
into the trap box that Trump sets for them.
Well, you
Every
always-
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. It's just I always fall for it. It's amazing that he sets these traps and there we just go stumbling into it. I don't know when I'm going to learn.
single time.
And he posted checkmate a few weeks ago and
I
deleted
know
it
he
and did
did.
it again. So I think that was the checkmate. It's like,
Why'd he delete it?
like you can't really cheat the way you did in 2020 because then we'll prove it. So you have to cheat just enough. But now we're watching you. We're going to catch you cheating.
Well, hold on, they're already in office. The Dems are in office. So if they cheat, and why wouldn't you just cheat to win and fuck it, because he can't do anything about it if he's not in office? Why would you, if you're going to cheat shit or get off the pot? If you're going to walk up to the bell, ring the bell. Why would you partly cheat just a little if you think you're going to win and the point is to win? You either cheat and fucking bury it and go try another Jan 6, assholes, or you just vote and you take it as it comes, because that's what reality was, you weirdo.
I think that's what's at play. I think that's what's happening, and I'll give you the floor.
I do too. And
Of course you do.
it even goes beyond that. It goes
has to.
I know you think that, whatever, but when you read as
Yeah, I do. You're right. We both do. We both think whatever.
much as I do,
Oh, that I think the Q stuff's not. It's your podcast. You can talk about whatever you want.
okay, but it's like Derek Johnson says,
Yeah.
45 to 47. The dash says it all. The dash means something.
I think that it means a period of time or a change in the number. I think what you think is the dash means he was president during all of Biden, so he gets all the credit for passing the Infrastructure Act, but he gets no credit for the inflation. Is that the idea?
And, it means continuity of government. And during that time, they all expose themselves. And it's just great. And
No, technically speaking, Hunter Biden was exposed. His junk was exposed by Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think you can't. It's not like he walked into a fucking park and flashed everyone. She took a picture that was on his phone and showed it in the public with his penis in the Congress, which is weird.
just love watching it. And now they had, their moves were corrupt and steal the election, which they are working on. But there's no way.
We're still at it? Okay, good. All right, cool. Well, hey, again, Biden has incredible powers till January 20th. So I can't wait till for whatever the last thing he signs that has a little, instead of drawing a heart over the I in Biden in his signature, he puts just a middle finger emoji.
Out of the trap box.
No.
Besides exposing how they stole 2020.
Yeah, they're
Because
literally
Trump's
doing
like
things.
60 chess.
Absolutely, and look at what they're.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're totally right. It's 6D chess. It's so high level. He lost on purpose to expose them. Excuse me, miss. You're making Mike Pillow sound sane.
Plus, he uses computers to game it out. He doesn't just sit there chronically masturbating like Valerie Jarrett, say.
Does she?
What? Even her son's like, is she a chronic masturbator? No, she's the one I lost my show over, so she just lives rent free in my brain.
Does she have a clit to do that? I assume they took that. I'll have to research that. But
Does she have a clit to do that? Is that the idea that, wait, is that just like a gross anti-trans fuckery like, what the fuck? Ew. Did they just have, who says that with their mom in the room, much less to their mom?
let's talk about TWC real quick.
She don't need a clit.
I don't think she has a choice.
Huh?
I don't think she has a choice in the matter. She's a Muslim. They don't get to keep their.
Okay. The root of this seems to be that they believe that Valerie Jarrett, if I'm following this, because she's a female member of the Muslim Brotherhood, she's had female genital mutilation at an early age, but the allegation here is that it's by choice from these two? What the fuck? Yikes.
That kind of degree of witch does not have sex.
Right.
Yeah, good point. And that's, if the Muslim Brotherhood is known for anything, it's their tolerance of witches. Can we at least keep this within the, like, can we have some sense of canon? Honestly, I don't want to, fuck this. Vampires glow in the daylight, and at night they have most of their powers, and the werewolves all look vaguely Latino. I don't need that kind of, don't rewrite my shit, okay? Either Frankenstein's monster was stitched together from a bunch of dead parts and the mad brain of an insane person, and that's why he couldn't be taught to be good, and it's all still in our cells and whatever the fuck. Or he's a gentle giant, and basically the root of the Hulk mythology. Make up your mind. Just pick one. For fuck's sake.
But she doesn't have a clitoris, right? Wasn't she born like...
Oh, she's got one that's probably fucking grizzled and fucking like Sarah Gilbert's. They're probably all grizzled, warty, and fucked up like that.
Sarah Gilbert's? Who? What? How is this has got to be a running conversation piece.
Shit, yeah.
Ugh.
You got to give up something to pay your devil's due. You get a warty, grizzled clit.
I love when
she does have a wart. They dressed me up like this. We did do the nose and the hat, but she's a witch.
It's just you and I. All right, let's.
I got to get a cigarette.
Okay, well, let's do this and then we'll take a cigarette.
Warty, grizzled clit, bitches. I'm sick of these bitches. I am going to start supporting removing women from having the right to vote like your dad's mom used to say, and I was so offended because I was a leftist, and she was a...
Your dad's mom. Okay.
Right-wing Christian that used to say, Teddy in the right-wing press, and I'd roll my eyes, but I loved her. She goes, fucking, they took down Nixon, and Alger Hiss was right, and I'd go, oh, this bitch, this poor, crazy, deluded bitch. Mary...
She was right all along. Yeah, everybody did Nixon dirty. What was that about the future and the past?
Alice Pentland.
Yeah.
Here's to you. Your son's a fucking libtard, and I'd like to kick his ass over his ears for you, baby, because you were right.
Oh, you see?
I'm just going to say a slight upside to this. While she has a lot more subscribers than I do, this video only has 3,000 views. I wish it had more by the people that normally watch it. So, here's what I want to see. I want to see what the chat room says. I just want to see the chat on here. This is the conversation. I'm not adding a comment on any of this. Any woman under 30, maybe even under 40. I don't know what that means. Oh, can vote. So no woman under 40, basically until menopause kicks in, is essentially where they're going. Is that there's a belief system that once menopause kicks in, women become more like men and therefore can be trusted to vote. That's honestly. This woman voted for Donald Trump. I love you, Roseanne. We all know the truth. As a woman, I agree. Fairy from the Hollows believes that women should not vote. Roseanne is such a treasure. I'm not getting a bot feel from any of these. I'm a woman and believe this too. Too many women vote with their emotions. Women should also be banned from combat. If I was a man, I wouldn't trust a woman to carry me out of a bad spot. I couldn't, you mean like her womb? I couldn't count on a woman like I could a man. The men that are fighting in a war are going to feel the need to protect the women and might make bad choices. That's the argument for the foxhole issue. 100% agree, women shouldn't vote. We're too emotional and don't think, says Michelle. Heartfelt thank you to Roseanne and Jake for up-to-date, accurate, truthful information. Okay, that's got to be a bot. I mean, come on. Why can't more celebs be like Roseanne? Well, I think because they all get proper mental health therapy or don't abuse substances to such a point that their brain reacts like it was left in a hot car with the windows rolled up, I think. Love you, Roseanne. Absolute gold. That I can't disagree with. Preach, Roseanne. Misspelled it, but whatever. I'm also starting to consider the idea of women not voting. I've surprised myself, says Wendy. Thank you, Roseanne. Keep dropping truth bombs. Honesty is a beautiful thing. Love ya. It's not 45-47. It's 45-47 for a reason, says Kirk. Because Biden was never president and everything, all the stuff, because it's actually good that happened. Anyways, there is, if I may, why is this not, I guess my buttons just don't want to work today. That should be weird. If I may, there is there has to be sort of a cult-like belief system to even listen to that shit on the regular. Like, you have to be, I don't know, denied oxygen at a necessary point early in your life, or I don't know, is it fetal alcohol syndrome? There's got to be something that explains the viewership over there. Now, can I jump in? I have to say there are a bunch of, if I may, there are a bunch of people that are whining about the Hunter Biden pardon. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much crazy shit that is going to happen in the next couple of months. Nobody's going to give a rat's ass. All the fucking like hair pulling and freaking out that's going on, the wailing, the gnashing of teeth, none of it will matter. None of it. By Christmas, blah de fucking blah. And anybody who thinks Donald Trump needs permission to be a bastard, it has not been paying attention or is part of the both-siderism cult. Because get the fuck out of here. Please. Nobody's going to care. Least of all me. And boy, we've dealt with this for so fucking long. It's about fucking time. Biden should have just done it on day one, and they could have bitched about it the whole time. Just screw it. I don't want anybody going after my kids. This is a waste of time, and it's a waste of my mental effort. I don't need to worry about this stuff. I believe him. It's nothing. Didn't help him. Pardon, done. Should have done it on day one. Lesson learned. Right? And while we're doing this whole, like, can you imagine if we had done this? Well, Trump's going to do all this shit, and I don't want to hear it when Democrats who use the exact same tool for legal reasons to actually protect the country, to actually keep the White House on message and all that shit, and just get over all this stuff. Just fucking the next Democratic president, and that would be me, should come in there and go, I'm just pulling Band-Aids off right away. As soon as you get in the office, you don't even have to sell. And you could talk a good game, whatever, but the second you get in office, like a whole afternoon of just fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. Can we get on to new stuff now? I don't want to hear about this shit. We got bigger fish to fry. That should be the important part. I'm pardoning these people and getting this out of the way because you're going to bitch about it anyways, and I don't care. We need to I'm not going to save it for the last 10 days I'm in office. We're going to do it right away. So shoo. Right? Stewart and all those guys can just blow. It's annoying. That said, there are some joys in this. There is some beauty in this. Some parts where we can take a little bit of joy, and that would be in the sadness of this tired little man. Where will he ever go. Now, again, will Hunter be called to testify on the Hill? For what? For what? I mean, you guys have already decided that a president can't be impeached or tried by the House after they left office. So go pound fucking sand. And you don't have the right to pull in, family members to depose them or torment them in a case you can't even fucking bring. So shoo. But I'm going to enjoy it. Comer reveals next steps in Biden probe after pardon of Hunter Biden. Now, I apologize ahead of time. I can already feel yawns coming on. I can already feel them coming up like a regurgitation. And so forgive me if I, oh God.
Well, I'm not surprised at all. I predicted Joe Biden would pardon Hunter. I predict he'll pardon Jim Biden. Look, this is the Biden crime family. Joe Biden has lied so many times. It started during the debate with Donald.
Well, then why couldn't you catch him, dumbass? Seriously. Why couldn't you catch him? If they're the Biden crime family, why'd you come up empty? Fucking years of this shit. Why'd you come up empty? And you didn't even have the DOJ, with Bill Barr telling Mueller that he can't look at the money trail. You didn't have any of that shit. You can look at everything. You had his taxes. You know where his bank accounts are. He's there are no hidden Biden fucking Cayman bank accounts. There just aren't any. You can't bust a guy for not paying his taxes on money you know he made and then pretend you don't know he made the money. Right? I mean,
Trump, when the laptop was discovered and he said the laptop was fake, it was Russian.
Sorry, where was it discovered? The laptop was discovered, was it? Where was it discovered? Who discovered it? Have you ever seen it? Have you ever laid eyes on it? You're the head of the committee that went after Hunter Biden for 2.5 fucking years. Have you ever laid eyes on it? And I'll give you this, not even the fucking laptop, a fucking photograph. How about the other 2 wet laptops that didn't work, that were dropped off at the blind repairman's shop? Jesus. The only legally blind Mac repairman who runs his shop that just also happens to be friends with Rudy Giuliani's lawyer and couldn't tell the difference between Hunter Biden and Don Jr. But please go on.
Disinformation. He knew the laptop was legitimate then. He lied to the American people then.
Nope. No, he didn't. Not real. Still bullshit. You can't call it, you can't have a hard drive named laptop and say you have a laptop. Doesn't work that way.
And he lied to the American people when he said he would never pardon his son for 10% of the crimes he committed, which is what he was charged for. 10% of the crimes he actually.
10%? How can you be charged with, where's the other 90%? If you know there are 90% of crimes out there, why weren't they charged during Trump? So what you're saying is Donald Trump couldn't, or perhaps wouldn't, charge a famous and well-connected white man's son for crimes he knew he'd committed. 90% of them by which he would be charged, and 10% of it, fuck off.
They committed.
10%.
Yes, exactly. It's so lucky that it rounded off to an exact number like that instead of 9.7%. I mean, it's okay. You know what? Round up. Just round up. Or maybe you round it down. You're being magnanimous. Maybe it was 10.6 and you're just giving him the benefit of the doubt. Explain.
The arrogance of the statement that he put out, to me, was the best part. Just this whole idea that the DOJ is corrupted. Again, the DOJ is corrupted. It's corrupted to his benefit. And the only thing that happened here is,
if it was corrupted to his benefit, Trump would have already been in jail a year ago, dum-dum. They wouldn't have to wait for anything.
That they went so far that they were so egregious with it that a judge finally said, this is just outrageous. This has to stop, and put his foot down. And we got these, again, very meager charges against Hunter Biden.
Yes. But again, this is what they actually had evidence of. They were going to work out a plea deal for it because he'd already pled guilty to it. And then they decided to try him on it after he'd already violated his Fifth Amendment. They'd already violated his Fifth Amendment protection because they'd already engaged in the deal, and the deal had been made public. So therefore, there's no fucking way people aren't aware of it, that you've already pled guilty in this situation. That's exactly why Bill Cosby got let out. I mean, the DA made a deal with him as long as he would admit what he had done in a civil case. I won't try you, just so we can get some money to the victims. And then the next DA came in and said, you admitted guilt, and so we're going to use that, and that's a violation of his Fifth Amendment. That's ultimately why Bill Cosby walked. Because for fuck's sake. And by the way, both of these crimes, the tax one, like Jesus Christ, Trump wants to get rid of taxes entirely. What the fuck does it mean? This is like a pot charge at this point for Trump, because he's trying to get rid of the income tax, and he's saying that Hunter Biden should be in jail for not paying his taxes when Trump doesn't pay his own taxes, never intends to, thinks he's smart for not paying his fucking taxes, and then on top of that, the fucking gun charge? Jesus Christ, pin either of these dumbasses down and go, do you think there should even be a background check form when you buy a gun? Much less a checklist of ethical questions where you have to tell the truth or you lose your gun. You technically have to violate your own Fifth Amendment protections to purchase a gun. Because or commit the crime in the first place. If you've used drugs, and here's the thing, even on the fucking form he signed, it says, are you currently addicted to? And he was like, no. Even addicts don't think they're fucking addicted. That's the point. You don't become an addict unless you lie to yourself. That's part of it.
Biden.
Yeah, meager charges. Look, the IRS whistleblowers, everything they said, Shapley and Ziegler, has turned out to be 100% true.
Yeah.
And
No, it has not.
they were retaliated against, which is another story. But
no, they were not. They tried to bring in, you dumb motherfucker. Okay, in case people are just joining us. Hi, maggots. In case anybody's just joining us. The IRS whistleblowers, the reason they were demoted and taken off that case is because they wanted to use stuff from the laptop that they had found online as part of the case. Now, there is no chain of evidence. There never was a chain of evidence. There is no guarantee that the information that they were getting off the website, the whole big guy bullshit and all that stuff, does not qualify as evidence. And here's the cool part. If you bring that evidence into this case, and because you don't have a chain of evidence and you cannot prove that it's true, and it is hacked material and maybe a mix of things or whatever, it will be, everything else that you find out from it will be thrown out because of fruit of the poison tree. So their bosses were actually trying to charge Hunter Biden. They were trying to get him on these things. And if these assholes had brought that stuff in and were like, we want to use the big guy references in the case, and they're like, no, because you can't prove the source. And you can't force the defendant to prove the source. You can't make them verify it. That's against their unlawful search and seizure and Fifth Amendment protections. See, you can't bring in whatever evidence that you find or make up or hire somebody to break into their fucking house and go, is this what you wrote in your diary? You can't do it. And if you do, the judge, no matter who the judge is, will go, fuck all of this. And anything you found out from that, you brought this in, you looked at it, you peeked, you weren't supposed to, it's illegal evidence, and anything you got from it, That gets thrown out too, even if it's legitimate. So their boss was trying to make sure that Hunter Biden got charged for the crimes they had in front of them, and they had enough information. You know why? Because they had his actual laptop. They had one that his attorney and he had turned over. There is an actual Hunter Biden laptop in the government's possession. You know how I know? Because his lawyer gave it to them. These assholes weren't fired or demoted or pulled off the case because they went too far and they went rogue or anything. They would have fucked up the prosecution. They would have single-handedly guaranteed you couldn't bring charges against Hunter Biden. That's how stupid this is.
If you go back to what they said.
Yes, the FBI used the laptop at Hunter's trial. It was the one he turned over. Oy.
Said the Department of Justice and the IRS intentionally let the statutes of limitations run out on a majority of the illegal funds that the Bidens took.
Sorry, you mean the 4 years Trump was president where nothing fucking happened?
Took in from their influence peddling.
Irish Chad says, why does Hal pretend like they didn't use the laptop? They didn't use the laptop. They used the laptop he turned over, his own personal real one, not the bullshit one that Rudy Giuliani was bouncing around. Look it up.
Operation. Then Shapley and Ziegler said they didn't know.
Seriously, do people not know this like base law? This is just dumb.
About a lot of the funds that we found, like the funds from Romania and some other countries. They didn't know about the loans that they had taken in and the loans that they never repaid, never paid any interest on, never even had loan documentation on.
Okay, they did pay them back. That's what the checks were, stupid. That's how you know they made a payment to Biden. It's so lazy.
So the extent of the crimes that they were charged with was I would estimate, about 10% of the actual financial crimes they
now you're estimating. Awesome.
Committed. I'm not even talking about the sex trafficking and the minors on the internet or anything like that. I'm just talking about
the minors on the internet. Oh, you mean the alleged child pornography that Rudy Giuliani had added to the hard drive and was copying around and passing around to his friends, and still has multiple hard drives with this stuff on it?
the financial crimes, because that's all I was asked to investigate.
They
Wait. Hold on. All you were asked to investigate? That's all you were asked? By who? First of all, who asked you to investigate this in the first place? Jim Jordan? Was that the idea? So why did Jim Jordan only send you after one thing? Why would this is really fascinating. Why, and this is curious to me, why would Jim Jordan, of all people, perceive that there was sexual assault possibly going on and intentionally want you to look the other way? Just habit, I guess?
They created accounts to launder money to members of the family.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like I'm losing my mind with this story.
You are. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean they created accounts? Hold on. Real quick, just if I may. Where are we? Yeah, grab this guy. Dum. And let's see. Whoops. Let's see. 1500. See if we can do this. Let's see. Let's start with this one. There's this one. And we'll grab this guy. So, okay. Trump has 500 LLCs that he disclosed at one point. He has over 1,500, some of which are just for bank accounts. Trump's latest financial disclosure includes details on the 500 or so. I love that. I love that your financial disclosure. I have approximately 500 LLCs. So limited liability companies he owns and their revenue. But what exactly is an LLC? And has an LLC is a type of company structure with two properties. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's a limited liability corporation. Trump uses a bevy of LLCs to house and manage his assets, as many wealthy individuals and businesses do, particularly in real estate. The Mar-a-Lago resort is owned by Trump under an LLC structure. So are his golf courses, licensing deals, one of his helicopters, some of his bank accounts. Just a bank account and an LLC. Just a limited liability corporation, and all it's for is for a bank account. It's just a bank account. Now, reviewing a spreadsheet of the names and income streams of Trump's LLCs doesn't exactly shine much light on his overall financial situation, because we don't get to see how much he actually ended up with in his bank account at the end of the day. This is a full list of Trump's foreign bank accounts. A bank account in China. 2016, he held accounts in China, Ireland. He again listed the first three the following year, only the UK in 2018 and 2022. In 2020. But Trump had bank accounts in China while he was in office until 2018. He got $17 million from China in 2017 after he killed TPP. And that account had never had more than $800,000 in it. Generally you don't have a bank accounts in foreign currency if you're doing transaction in that country's currency. What was the business was he doing in China while he was president? He reported in 2020 on the bank account in China that it was linked to a business push there from Trump International Hotels Management, which again is just one of the fucking LLCs that Don and Eric set up. Being China's puppet. Biden has not received income from or done business with China per his own disclosures and returns. This is still true. Paid less in federal income tax. It's the $750. Where's the correction? I gotta look back in here. Anyways, here you go. Trump's tax returns reveal president's foreign bank accounts. That was the he paid close to $1 million in 2018. No federal taxes in 2020. $750. Long legal battle. He paid more in taxes in 2018 after he'd been president for a year than he had in the previous year. Isn't that funny? He made more money. And you don't make more than $1 million as president. Supposedly he gave his salary away. Remember that bullshit? Of course, it cost us the American taxpayer 400 years. 400 years worth of presidential salary to take this asshole golfing during the time he was president at his properties. The U.S. government paid Donald Trump's properties 400 years worth of presidential salary to fly him around, like pay for Secret Service to be housed, all that shit. Let's see. Here we go. Report on that's his tax returns. Yeah, this is an older article. I'm trying to find the one where the president earns in office. I'll find them later. Hold on one second. Point being is that his 1,500. Let's see. A lot of these are new articles too that chase all the stuff. 6 years. That's the 6 years. Florida Bank says it closed Trump's accounts. That was in 2021. So God knows where his bank accounts are now. Okay, anyways, we'll continue with this.
It's just amazing to me. But part of this, and sorry to interrupt, but part of this broad pardon here means that Hunter can no longer claim the fifth. You can't claim the fifth. You can't incriminate yourself if you've been pardoned, obviously. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, do you have...
Yeah, but you also can't be compelled to testify if there's no trial that can actually happen. Right? So what?
Any plans for Hunter Biden knowing this?
Well, I look
Totally.
forward to talking to Attorney General Bondi about this. We still have information that we've requested that we've never received. The White House.
Well, you can't do anything with it now, asshole. And again, the House can't go after an unelected official, period. And because of Donald Trump, you can't go after the president anymore. So I don't know what to tell you. Eat shit.
The House is still, to this day, obstructing rightful evidence that we should have obtained. The White House has instructed the National Archives not to turn over all those pseudonym emails, Rob. We still don't have the pseudonym emails, which we believe will show Joe Biden was communicating.
Okay, first of all, the pseudonym emails aren't a surprise. They're government emails. They are government emails. Who the fuck thinks anybody in office would get anything done if their fucking email had to say Joseph R. Biden at whitehouse.gov? You know what I mean? Good Lord.
Secretly with the shady associates that were a part of the money laundering scheme with the money from our adversaries around the world. And when you mentioned all the different money laundering and things like that, that was 6 banks saying that. Banks like J.P. Morgan and Bank of America.
No, it wasn't. They were flagging stuff because after 9/11, anything over $10,000 gets flagged. Do we want to look at, by the way, here's a good idea. And this would, make any accusation you want, but I need a baseline. I need to know what the average is before you go after somebody who's transferred over $10,000 and not had a suspicious activity flag. If it's not going to people putting money down in real estate or whatever, specifically from their own, from a house purchase. And even then that happens, right? It takes days sometimes to clear money going into an account for your down payment on a house, right? So that's fine. Here's what I would like. Go by comparison, so we don't have apples to oranges. Go find out how many money transfers to and from Donald Trump were flagged by banks. Not his son, not Don Jr., not Eric. Trump's accounts themselves. Right? Just give me that baseline.
Okay. Banks that issued over 175 suspicious activity reports saying that they were confident their client had committed financial crimes. So it's not just Comer saying this.
Boring.
It's not just Newsmax saying this. These are 6 of the biggest, most respected banks in America saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you mean the ones that won't give Trump loans? Seriously. They won't loan money to Donald Trump, even now.
That the Bidens were crooks, that they were susceptible to bribes, that they had no idea, that they owned an investment.
Wait, hang on. First of all, I understand your bank thing, you're buying and selling stuff or whatever, but what the fuck does susceptible to bribes mean? And how does your bank play into that? What bank officer is going, I don't know, I think they could be quitted and proed and quoed myself.
Company, but had no investments. I mean, this is the most corrupt political family in the history of
You're adorable.
the American presidency.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest
Really? Then congratulations, America. We've done very, very well, because I think it boils down to, I think what they pointed out, the president himself getting $40,000 out of all these deals. Apparently, Hunter's the bag man, but he gets to keep millions, except I guess he pays paid for shutters at the lake house. So sorry, the most corrupt president we've ever had has 2 houses, one of which he owned for years and fixed up, and the other one he bought with book money. And his son got busted for not paying his taxes, and actually went on trial and actually was found guilty, and he had to pardon him. I guess that's the extent of it. That is the most corrupt. Congratulations. I don't know who else we saw, and we did say, Nixon, Reagan making deals with the Iranians, Iran Contra, or whatever. I guess this is the top. This is the high water mark of corruption. So congratulations, America. By comparison, we're doing pretty good. Now, the next White House looks a little sketchy. I am going to say that I think we're headed for a new watermark.
public corruption scandal ever. And I hope that the...
Really? Okay. Does he understand what a self-dunk this is? Does he have any idea? Does he have any idea how like lazy and dumb and weak saying that makes him look? Because if this is the greatest, most corrupt family in the history of the presidency, and you didn't get shit, you didn't get shit. First of all, none of them went on trial for anything during Trump. And then when they came back in, you beat the fucking drum from day one and you didn't come up with anything. You made a deal on penny ante charges, stuff that you guys, again, don't even think is a crime. You want him busted for shit he wrote in his memoir about his time as a fucking addict. And you fucked it up. He wrote a memoir, and you think that's crimes in the memoir. You think pictures of drugs is enough to convict someone. I got news for you. You can't run a test on a picture of drugs. And if you could, we would never have enough jail space, you absolute asshole. If they're the most corrupt family, and this is the most egregious public corruption we have ever seen as a country, then you suck. You're the worst investigator. You're the worst committee head. You're the worst. I don't know. Your reading comprehension must be complete shit. If you can't bust these motherfuckers, if you were unable to prove it in a committee in a house that you controlled and handed over actual charges to the DOJ and have them go, oh shit, this is some real stuff. You were unable to do that. And you believe this is the most corrupt family ever, then isn't this your fault? You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, I might have to take back something that I have said earlier. James Comer, yeah, he has to be part of the deep state. Yeah, he's either a deep state operative who is just pretending to look for evidence and throwing it all away so that Biden could get out of there. Or, I mean, because the only other option is that he's a fucking moron, right? Which clearly couldn't be true. Obviously, James Comer is part of the deep state. Yeah, he's obviously in on it. We may need to ask Roseanne.
The Trump Justice Department will take our investigation and hold people accountable, not just the Bidens, but all the deep state actors that were involved in the cover-up.
Maybe they didn't need to cover anything. Maybe, is there a cover-up if you just can't find anything? And I don't mean because it isn't there. I mean just because you're dumb. I mean, I feel like you should arrest yourself. If the corruption is that obvious and that clear and you couldn't find it, I think you're part of the cover-up. I would if I were you, just turn yourself in at the nearest prison.
Well said. I mean, this is the stuff of dictators. You know, to be able to operate with this kind of impunity the way this family has. I mean, this is the way it works in countries where there's no challenge. Yeah. It's really scary.
No, it doesn't.
Scary stuff, and I'm glad it got exposed. You were a big part of that.
It didn't get exposed, and what was he a big part of? Letting him get away with it? What are you talking about? He didn't get shit.
Congressman, thank you so much for taking the time. Excited to see what happens with this new era coming in January 20th.
Yeah, it's a new. It is. It's a new era. Good Lord. So fucking boring. But I guess they keep swinging. So sure, why not? Now, normally, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, you're watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. There is no Hunter Biden laptop. But again, if the Bidens are the most corrupt family ever, and they got away with it, I think Comer should blame himself. I think he needs to look in a mirror. Yeah. Now, obviously, Merrick Garland's probably kicking himself. One would hope that he dragged his feet and couldn't have acted further, but I would say that was for a lack of trying, unlike Comer, who was like scratching and clawing at this shit for years and still came up empty. And also, Biden's pardon technically is more clemency on the stuff he was charged with. He pardoned him for other stuff in case they try to go back and get another bite at the apple for other, stuff that wasn't tried because they had made this deal and whatever. But mainly it was the clemency that they got mad about, even though they're saying the pardon part. And they're like, it goes all the way back to 2014. So does the tax shit. That's where the clemency has to come from. So why would he let him chew at his fucking son for the rest of time? Go away. Good Lord. Try harder. I'm glad Biden pardoned Hunter, and it's not even going to be a fucking talking point in a couple of weeks. Trump wants to put Kash Patel, the coked out leather daddy, in charge of the FBI because he has total contempt for what the people do because he has no idea what the FBI does. He only just hears shit from Don Jr. Oh, thanks, Darlene. I like this style as well. I did a a mask, a biotin mask on my hair when I washed it this morning, and I was in such a hurry. I had it up way too long. So yeah, Kash Patel's not going to make it. They're going to bring in somebody else. But again, this is like half of this shit is trolling. But they just signed off on a thing today. I believe that everybody gets their proper background checks, which should be an adventure. Yeah. So we'll see how that works. And, whatever. Trump wants to defund the police. Yes, that's exactly what he wants to do. And he wants to gut them from the inside. Do you ever feel like all of our like spies overseas are like staring down the barrel of like the Mission Impossible series where everybody goes rogue and MI6 has been compromised, or the CIA has been compromised. So they're like, oh shit, the bad guys are running the organization, yada yada, like the recruit, I feel like they're all prepping for that. Meth will make your eyes cross. Does it? I wouldn't know. Christopher Wray's going to keep his job. I agree. I don't think he's going anywhere either. I don't know why the fuck they think this, and again, I guess the idea is that he would put Kash in as interim, but he'd have to have cause to fire Wray, and he doesn't. At this point, I give a shit. What's really going on here? What's really yeah, the burn notice, absolutely. What's really going on here? Trump is talking about replacing the guy he put in with a loyalist. Because the guy he put in was insignificantly loyal. It's his dude. He fired Comey. He replaced him with Wray. And the admission that he wants to replace him at all means he doesn't know shit about making decisions, and he's making another bad decision, I guess. Stupid. The French guy is nervous? Which French guy would that be? We don't know. So, last but certainly not least, I hope, or whatever, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to check in with a guy that I don't know why. One of the reasons why, and by the way, you're watching House Sparks Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Bill O'Reilly paid a sexual assault victim $33 million to keep her mouth shut. And apparently that was on top of the $9+ million that Fox had doled out for him to other assault victims over the years that he was there, totaling somewhere in the order of $50 million over time. To pay off sexual assault victims of alleged sexual assault victims, because they never went to trial, of Bill O'Reilly. And here's what I think my biggest reaction to in this is that we've all heard payoffs. Trump paid a woman $140,000 just to say they didn't have sex, even though it was consensual. Lame, but consensual, right? And he paid a couple other women that he had consensual sex with to keep quiet. $140,000. Really got him on the cheap, I would say. I think they could have hit him for over $1 million. I think if you're going to sign an NDA, make sure you're getting over, 7 figures, I would say. Bill O'Reilly paid $33 million to one survivor, one woman. Lacey, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah. So, hold on. Let's see if I can. So, yeah. They paid, before the actual claim was paid out initially, he had paid her other money, and then they finally went through this whole thing. Former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly settled a sexual harassment claim with a former legal analyst, Liz Weil, according to a report from the New York Times. $32 million. Settled for $32 million. Rather than go to trial, he paid $32 million. Think about sexual harassment in the workplace. 3 million? 5 million? What do you think a legal analyst who works at Fox would make over the course of 10 years being on the network? Couple $100,000? So what are you paying to make something go away? What have you done that if people hear about it, right? If they hear about it, if they hear the testimony about what happened, that would drive you to pay $8 million. Keep it quiet. 10, $12 million, $18 million, $21 million, $25 million, 30 fucking $2 million on top of what he had paid previously. Think about what you would have had to have done in this situation to pay that much money for somebody to keep their mouth shut. We're not talking about a situation where somebody, denies somebody a promotion. This is violence. So, earlier this year, Jon Stewart had this guy on because you want to have a balanced conversation. Now, I understand why Jon Stewart would have him on, because there's not a lot of old news guys around from the Republican side to talk to. They're hard to come by, especially with the name recognition of these guys. That, you got to go to Bill. I mean, because he's got a huge fan base and people need him back on the air. Why does Bill O'Reilly still have a career? He doesn't, Samuel. He's on The First, which is this like penny ante little network. It has 180,000 subscribers. The Blaze has like $1.8 million? Oh, Templeton's on Blue Sky. Right on. Templeton Zerat is on Blue Sky. Nice. So he doesn't have a career anymore. He's got a lot of money, even though he paid that woman $32 million to keep her mouth shut. He's got a lot of money, made, $60, $90 million a year while he was working at Fox for years and years and years, right? Yeah. Walked away with 85 of it. Yeah. So he never had to work another day in his life. Never had to show up for stuff. I mean, it's about limelight, I guess, and relevance or something. And again, dude could be fucking traveling the world and annoying no one, but he's back on this show because he seems to think he's got something to add. Well, let's see.
So 4 weeks after the vote, Donald Trump's pretty much running the country.
Is he? Is he? How's he doing that? He's the one who pardoned Hunter, I guess. All right, cool. Okay, well, then I think we all owe Trump a debt of thanks for pardoning Hunter. And, of course, sending $725 million to Ukraine yesterday and doing loan guarantees for the chip fabs in Arizona to the point to the tune of like $6.6 billion. Oh, and the $5 billion that went to the 2 EV battery plants last week. That was Trump? Awesome.
Yes. It's very interesting. Never seen really a power shift this quickly in all my 50 years of observing national politics, but it's in play. So
it's in play.
On Friday, little Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, flies down to Mar-a-Lago. Pretty unusual. They met. Everybody was happy. Look at them smiling. Oh, yeah, we're having a great time.
Right, because Trump's brain has turned to pudding, and anybody who takes a picture with him, pop likes it.
Trudeau got a free meal. And the reason that...
Yeah, but it was at Mar-a-Lago, so he probably borrowed a feather from someone and used the bathroom. Like, I can't throw up in here. I'll spew all over classified documents.
Justin went down there is because Trump has threatened to put 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico because of all the migrant stuff, the drug stuff, and Justin.
Right. Hang on. The migrant stuff. So we have a big problem with Canadians bringing what? Beer across the border.
I want to go down and say, hey, we're going to work with you.
Yeah, we're gonna. Congratulations, you've already done it. We're gonna stop all the fentanyl coming across the Canadian border with America. P.S. Can you keep your fucking guns out of our country?
Briefly, he made a statement.
I got it. Also, like, fuck off with this nonsense. The idea that to handle the border and fentanyl, he's going to put an equal tariff on Canada and Mexico. Fuck does that even mean? Has anybody figured out why the fuck? I mean, Canadians must be going like, what the fuck did we do?
Go.
Was it a productive meeting with President-elect?
It was an excellent conversation.
That was it. Okay. And I don't expect Canada to give the USA any trouble on anything.
Yeah, like before. What the fuck? Look, Canada catches a lot of hell. And to full disclosure, I'm Canadian by injection in that I lived in Canada for 6 years while I was doing Queer as Folk. We filmed that up there, and I loved it. Toronto is a lovely city. Been to Vancouver. My girlfriend at the time and I, Vidal, we used to go up to Montreal on the weekends together and stuff. It's just lovely. I used to listen to like Canadian French punk bands, and that's where I discovered like Todd Kearns and Static and Stereo and Danko Jones. It's fucking great. Canada hasn't done anything fucking wrong at all. Nothing. The fuck did Canada ever fucking do? Seriously, beat us at hockey occasionally? Whoa, Wes. Whoa. What is that? Bye. So, yeah, it's a lovely place. And so the curious part, and I don't know why any thinking person goes, oh, he wants to deal with the flow of migrants across the southern border and fentanyl coming across the southern border in conjunction with, China, giving these precursors to the cartels to make it. And then all that's happening at the southern border. We've heard endless stories about it, right? And then they get a 25% tariff, and Canada gets one too for what? Just being a border country with us as well?
This can't, because Canada needs USA. And Mexico...
Okay. Isn't Canada like the second biggest country on Earth? I mean, it's mostly ice, but, look at all the real estate they would get if global warming happens.
A little bit different. So last Wednesday, November 27th.
Also, by the way, if he's hold on. If the premise is that this motherfucker is president right now and he's handling shit, why is he meeting with fucking Canada? Why is he meeting with Justin Trudeau at all? What in the absolute fuck is happening that where like, oh, he's taking control of the situation? If the southern border has been our problem, and if fentanyl is the big thing, why isn't he meeting with Scheinbaum? Why isn't he meeting with the Mexican president then? If he's taking, what the hell? I honestly, I don't even know where this argument comes from. Other than a obviously demented, piggish, disgusting asshole, amoral multimillionaire who thinks he's still got a point to make.
Trump and the new president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, interesting woman, by the way, and I'll tell you a little bit about her in a moment.
Sure.
They got on the phone. And then
okay, so they were on the phone. The Trudeau comes down and visits Mar-a-Lago, gets a free meal. Scheinbaum's like, keep your fucking shoe leather steak that you have to slather in ketchup.
Trump said, we worked it out. Mexico's going to close the border. Whereas Scheinblum said, no, that's not what we said.
Her name's Scheinblum now, is she? I mean, Bloom, bomb. What's the difference, really? It sounds Jewish, right? Right? Oh, really?
Said. So let me put her statement up on the screen for those of you listening on the radio. I will read it. In our conversation with President Trump, I explained to him the comprehensive strategy that Mexico has followed to address the migration phenomenon.
Did she like have a head waggle when she read it this way, or were you just having a difficult time reading the word followed?
Respecting human rights. Thanks to this, migrants and caravans are assisted before they reach the border. We reiterate that Mexico's position is not to close borders, but to build bridges between government and between peoples. That's the Mexican President, Claudia Sheinbaum. Well, that's not going to come.
Yeah, that sounds like Trump's in charge. Yeah, he's totally in control. Yeah. Obviously, he showed this boy. He showed this lady who's boss.
Cut it, madam, with all due respect. So you...
First of all, you have no respect for women, you piggish fuck.
You are going to have to do what the United States wants you to do. You can't...
No. No, they don't. They have a young workforce. They're one of the three wealthiest nations south of the American border, in South America and Central America. They are the controlling government of most of Central America. They have stronger relationships with those countries than anybody else. Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, again, I've said this from the beginning. I hope he closes the border immediately just so it fucks Texas into a cocked hat.
You can't assist, you can't holistic, you can't do any of that. All right? And if you do, then Donald Trump is going to punish you economically. But he doesn't even have to.
No, you're right. He doesn't have to. He's just because he doesn't have to punish you. He can just punish American car makers and other people who have factories down there that make the stuff and sell it in the United States because of the lower cost of labor in Mexico than even China has, because labor in... Hold on, people don't know that, do they? One moment, please. For 20 years, wages in China were much lower than Mexico. Now Mexico's manufacturing labor costs are 20% lower than China. Mexico's manufacturing costs are 20% lower than China. That is why everyone is saying Spanish is the new Mandarin. When adjusted for worker productivity, the gap is even wider. Mexico also offers steadier wages, so companies can more easily predict labor costs. Exchange rates between the dollar and the yuan and the peso also contribute to this change because the yuan can be devalued and fucked with, and we trust the peso. It's like a picture of the yuan. There you go. The yuan, also known as the renminbi, or as Joe Bloggs calls it the yuan. He called it the Chinese yan for the longest time. It drove me fucking crazy.
Level a 25% tariff. All President Trump has to do is go on television and say to the American people, I hope you will not travel.
Stop eating tacos.
To Mexico because they are hurting the United States.
Jesus Christ, man. Are you trying to get like every liberal in the country to go to Acapulco, you dumb fuck? Trump couldn't even keep Ted Cruz from leaving Texas and going to fucking Mexico. Are you out of your mind? Yeah, that'll do it. He won't have to do tariffs. He'll just choke off travel. Are you nuts?
That's it.
Yeah, I'll do it. Thanks, buddy. Great idea. Brilliant. I don't know why you don't have a cabinet position at this point. Genius. I would love to. Can you imagine this dickhead standing around in the Oval Office outside the desk with his fucking finger wag? You know what you should do? Shut the fuck up, Bill.
That's all he has to do.
Yeah. And every liberal in the country will finally go, I should go to Cabo. You know what? I love me some Sammy Hagar. We're all going Cabo Wabo.
And the Mexican economy collapses.
Yeah, because it's so reliant. Are you out of your fucking mind? So the premise of this argument is he doesn't have to do tariffs on stuff coming into the country that is mostly made, by the way, for American companies. Because you could just kill them by stopping tourism. So fuck, dude, if he said that, I personally would lead a fucking cruise down to Mexico. Are you nuts? How in the world? Dude, if he said that, you think the American, oh shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, sure, Mexico, absolutely. Yeah, fuck, oh yeah, no way.
Without U.S. tourism, over.
Again, dude, you can't even stop Ted Cruz from going. You think you're going to stop liberals from vacationing there? Dude, it would immediately jump to the top of everyone's bucket list.
You want to put a tariff, that's going to hurt.
This is what he's trying to avoid. This is what this is about. Bill O'Reilly is dumb, but he's not stupid. And even he knows the tariff thing is bad for business and will fuck Texas. So they're trying. This is audience of one bullshit where he's trying to talk Trump into it. This is, I mean, he might as well be an advisor standing near the desk going, nah, you know what? You don't even need tariffs. No, no, boss. You don't even know. Just tell tourists to not go there anymore. They'll snap into line.
You want to strangle them by saying, don't go there. That's a lot easier and a lot
girlfriend.
lot quicker. President Trump.
All right, and he's like, and the rest of this video, he will hawk silver because he's a fucking weirdo. By the way, for those of you that love precious metals and think they're important to the American economy and your future and whatever post-apocalyptic, hate-filled shitstorm you think we're all going to live in, I got news for you. Nobody will have any need for pretty rocks in Armageddon. Like ass, gas, or grass. That's what it's going to be. Sorry. And there we go. Do I have time for one? Yeah, I do, actually. Okay. There is a... And I here's the thing. There's a ton of stuff about, like, pardoning Hunter that's come up. And you understand, like, just how enormous the reaction to this is. But I got to tell you, nobody's going to give a fuck. Nobody. In a matter of a couple of weeks, it's just done. It's just lazy, boring nonsense. It's not going to matter at all. Okay, one thing. I'm scrolling through because there's another thing I wanted to look at with you guys. By the way, hit the like, share, subscribe, etc. This is Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. How about memberships? I guess I should remind people. You can. We need subscribers on Twitch. That's gone down because I never pay attention to it and I don't bug people about it. We've got a lot of followers on there now. That's gone up, which is interesting, right? But the subscribership has gone down mainly because I don't remind people because all of my viewers aren't 15, and so they don't realize you have to re-up your subscription. And also, Wes got kicked just a minute ago. I did it myself because he used anti-gay pejoratives. It was that simple, just gross. So how about no? Just so you know. That's why that happened. Yeah. Why won't that close? There we go. Good Lord. Okay. There's so much of this shit. Where do we even start? The Kash Patel nonsense. Oh, I know what I wanted to look at. Yeah. So this is Truth Bomb. That's right. Philip's on Blue Sky. Hey, Philip's finally on there. Ittner Phillip. Yeah, yeah, that's gross. I punted him just for that reason. Sorry for the drama, but nobody needs it. Not anymore. Talk about having zero fucks to give. Now, you guys know I love me some deep state nonsense. I'm a huge fan. Oh my Lord, I love me some deep state stuff. Not only am I the deep state, but I also don't believe that anybody who talks about the deep state actually thinks it really exists. And what they really mean, what deep state means, is bureaucracy. But bureaucracy and bureaucrats sounds like an old 50s and 60s term for pencil pushers, right? The other thing to it, and this is key. Lately this has been like stuck in my craw, is the Committee on Government Efficiency, the COGE, that's not a department, that Elon Musk is putting together with Vivek Ramaswamy, who wants people who are appointed in offices and all these different cabinet things to do their bidding, and they think they're going to. That is exactly what they say the deep state is. Unelected bureaucrats appointed by people and outsiders, namely lobbyists, telling them what they want done in Congress, bypassing the person you voted for entirely and just making it happen. That sounds like the deep state. Maggots, anybody want to disagree with me on that? That a unelected committee, then that's all it is. It's a committee, it's not a department. DOJ is not a thing. It's COGE. And those guys are allegedly going to have operatives that Trump puts in all of these different departments that are unelected. They are appointed. You didn't vote for them. And COGE is going to tell them what to do and never even talk to Trump. He's going to go take care of it. Take him from here. He bothers me, right? That sounds like your description of the deep state. Right? Unless there's another version of the deep state I'm not aware of. But that sounds exactly like what you guys have been bitching about forever. It sounds exactly that's exactly what you're constructing or intending to construct. This is, okay, so here we go. Here we go. So this is, we have the most miserable man on the internet, and then we have the man who makes the most people miserable on the internet, that would be this guy's Stretch Ben Shapiro, old caterpillar brow himself, Jesse Wet the Bed Waters. This was the deep state's screw you before Trump returns. And I suppose he's talking about the pardon.
We told you Biden family Thanksgivings are legendary, and Nantucket was no different this year. We thought Frankie Ford.
Also, what does that mean? Legendary for what? Oh, because they love each other. That's right. Because to you, love is a legend. It's not an actual material experience that you've ever had. It's something that exists sort of in mythology. I get it. Okay.
Four fingers would lose another finger, but instead, the big guy gave Hunter an early Christmas gift, a pardon over turkey dinner. Quote, no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases could reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. We were still.
By the way, can I remind everybody that Trump granted clemency to a woman who ran a large cocaine and pot ring in Georgia in an attempt to what he thought would win over black voters. That was the Kim Kardashian thing that he did. And according to Trump on the campaign trail, and I guess going forward, she should have been executed and never been in jail in the first place. So he pardoned someone he thinks should be executed. Just saying. So, I mean, by the standards that you go with it, I don't know of anybody getting executed for lying on a gun form, especially Republicans, because they don't believe those gun forms should even exist in the first place, or over income tax evasion, another thing they don't think should exist.
Still picking at Thanksgiving leftovers when Joe pardoned his son and hopped on a plane.
I think you know what, chat room, I think you're right. I think Jesse Wetters is a better name for him. It's good, because he's always kind of wetting the bed about stuff. He's a big bed wetter. You can just tell, like his angry, whining, pissing the bed kind of aggravation. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Jesse Wetters works for me.
Africa.
Biden flees to Africa. You know he's coming back, right? You know he's still president. If he's fleeing, is he taking Air Force One with him?
He went to Angola, 7,000 miles away. Oh, and he left his wife home to face the music.
Yeah, yes. And all the children, of course, obviously, you know. Why don't you know what? She wouldn't answer. Why don't you go after the choir kids?
Dr. Biden. Dr. Biden, what changed on the pardon for Hunter?
Biden's even leaking to CNN. He wasn't.
Also, that seemed pretty reasonable. And again, I got news for you. According to Trump's own SCOTUS, none of this fucking matters. He can do anything he wants. As a matter of fact, he could appoint Hunter Biden extrajudicially to the SCOTUS, apparently. Just add him surreptitiously as an act of executive power by declaring an emergency in the Department of Justice. Seriously. And what are they going to do? Take it to the Supreme Court to get him kicked off?
Really sure if he was going to pardon Hunter, but his wife made him do it. You know women.
Clearly there was pressure in.
What the hell? Hold on. Jeff Zeleny, Chief National Affairs Correspondent on CNN.
Inside the family, we were told really in recent weeks that Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, was very supportive of the president doing something like this. The president was not sure. But we clearly have seen now he has come to this decision to pardon his son Hunter.
Biden pardons his son at his donor's Nantucket home, throws his wife under the bus, jets off to Africa, and makes a...
Hold on. Wait. Throws his wife under the bus? Also, by the way, from what I saw, if you're talking about the same exchange, it looks like she punched the bus in the dick. She spent time like she was hugging kids. She's like, of course I support the pardon of my son. Like, take that, bus. What the fuck?
Fool out of binder. Because this poor lady said 1,000 times a pardon was off the table.
You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying
it's
not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
And it will always be a no.
It's still
Hold on.
a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
I guess no means yes.
Probably no.
Now and agree.
Well, also, I would argue that the circumstances on the ground have changed, and the idea that Donald Trump is coming in saying we're going to go after all of our political enemies, and they would start by they can't attack Joe, so they would go after his son. So of course he's going to pardon him. Why would you leave him to these wolves? Here's what I think. I think they're just mad that Joe didn't charge Hunter $2 million like Trump did of everyone.
President-elect Trump, that the justice system has been weaponized for political purposes and that it needs root and branch reform.
No. Read the president's statement. Seriously, read the president's statement. He said he believes in the Department of Justice. He does. He also believes that raw politics infected the process and it led to a miscarriage of justice.
Raw politics. She inverted that word, but raw politics is what his statement said.
Believes his son was unfairly targeted. He said that what his political opponents have done to my son, that's his words, is cruel and enough is enough.
So Biden is saying the Biden Justice Department was weaponized against Hunter, but not against Trump. The same Justice Department. Got it.
Right. Also, real quick, this is just for Jesse. I just feel like I have to put this up. Presented without comment. But I'm sure they're going to release the files, right? Of course they are. Of course. Kash Patel's going to, that's the first thing he's going to do. He said he's going to have a declassification desk. The default will be declassification. Of course, they're all going to come out. I'm kidding. They're not going to come out under Trump. Biden's going to release them 5 days before he leaves office.
It's fitting that Biden's presidency started with a cover-up and ended with one. The laptop, the lab leak, his health, the coup, and then a blanket pardon that historians are saying...
Sorry, the lab leak, his health, the coup. Oh, the coup, I guess, is him being removed from office, even though he's still in office, for the Democratic nomination under Harris. He would have won, period. But that said, the lab leak, the people talking about lab leak were broomed in 2020 from social media. And the idea is that the lab leak idea was, are you saying it was an accident? They built a weapon in there? Or are you just saying it was accidentally created and it got out? Or you're guaranteeing that you know because you don't, and that's always a problem? Nobody was thrown off social media for claiming lab leak or any of this, or talking about the lab leak. They were claiming to have knowledge they had no actual evidence of.
Is bigger in scope than Richard Nixon's. Biden went from my son did nothing wrong to here's a pardon that goes...
No, Richard Nixon had operatives of his break into the Democratic Party's headquarters. G. Gordon Liddy, they picked the lock. They were caught by Forrest Gump, as I remember.
Back a decade. 42-year sentence for tax and gun felonies. It's the crack's fault. Biden went from, I never talked business with my son, to, I had spaghetti dinners with his Ukrainian clients, but we just talked about the weather.
Also, by the way, no. You don't get this I call bullshit on everything that happened after he left office in 2017 and before he started running again. He had no influence to sell. None. And the idea that he was the shoo-in to win next time or to even run was just ridiculous. Like, we've been through this a bunch of times. Think back to 2017. Was he the automatic like, oh fuck, man, if Biden decides to run next time, it's fucking over.
Didn't think it was possible for Biden to humiliate the Democrats any more than he already has. We all knew his son was going to get pardoned. No one would ever let their son.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. We all hoped, and we're all glad. Fuck you.
Go to prison if they had the power to stop it. But just like every hoax, whether it's Russia or Smollett going out for a footlong at 2 a.m. January in Chicago.
Sorry. So the Democrats are on the hook for Jesse Smollett now. How? Okay, well then let's just talk about every Jan 6er. Let's go case by case. I need you to explain to me how people who attacked police officers were just doing it because they believed the election had been stolen and that these weren't real cops. And they were UN jackbooted thugs, and that gave them cause to attack. Right, because he's black. That's the idea, is that Jesse Smollett's black, so he must be. Right, gotcha.
Chicago. The media fell for it. They said Joe had principles.
A presidential promise to put the law before a family.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. I mean, what, you know.
Yes. And hold on. And the guy coming in has so much disrespect for the law. He's putting Pam Bondi, someone who he bribed when she was the AG in Florida, gave her $25,000 to basically look the other way with the Trump University shit. And he's putting her in charge of the DOJ. He was going to put Matt Gaetz in charge of it. And now he's going to put Kash Patel in charge of the FBI. No. If you're going to fill a swimming pool with alligators, you can't go, I thought you said you were a good swimmer.
And it's all about the contrast.
He is not pardoning his son, which he could do. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country. Yeah. And it is, I mean, if you want to know if he believes it, you could actually see what is happening with his own son.
Yeah. This whole time, Biden was the lying dog-faced pony soldier. How the heck did the media get to a place where they assume any politician is telling the truth? Finally.
Wait a minute. Dude, you give Trump a rusty trombone twice a day. You're on this shit show and the 5. You cannot get your lips detached from his butthole unless you're actually in the process of doing a show. Unless you're filleting him on the air on Fox. But now it's politicians, I see.
The left is as sick as being lied to as we are. Now, we'd have a lot more respect for Biden if he had said, yeah, I'm going to pardon Hunter. He's my only son. But he acts like he has a monopoly on morality. At least Trump doesn't make promises he knows he's going to break. You might not agree with what he does, but when he said,
whoa. Hold on.
He's going to pardon Jan 6.
Wait. No. Doesn't make promises he won't break? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, so did Mexico pay for the fucking wall? Sorry, did COVID go away in April with the sunshine?
He'll probably do it. Recess his cabinet, he'll probably do it. Fire the FBI director, he's done it once, he'll do it again. Joe Biden tells you he's George Washington, and then he acts like Benedict Arnold. And it breaks the Democrats' heart every...
Hold on. Why would it be Benedict Arnold to pardon Hunter on tax-related charges and again a gun charge that Republicans don't even believe should be a charge? For real.
Every time.
I just want Democrats to stop acting like they are on this moral high ground politically when they have shown us they're not, whether it's skipping the primary process when Biden stepped down and things like Biden pardoning his...
Get the fuck out of here. Skipping the primary process. It was July.
Pardoning his son. Stop acting like y'all...
Also, by the way, in the primary, if I may, she was part of the primary process because we have an incumbent. She's vice president. That's part and parcel to what happens. What happened if he stepped down a year ago? Like, wait a minute, I didn't vote for her to be president. Yeah, you did. That's how it works, dummy.
Party and Republicans aren't.
Jeffrey Toobin, who knows a little something about dishonoring the office.
Sorry, you're going to Jeffrey Toobin, the dude who was like masturbating on the air? Like showed his dick on was it CNN? Like got up with no pants on and was actively masturbating. So, okay, sorry. Tell me about disgrace.
Says, quote, Biden's pardon for his son dishonors the office. Governor of Colorado, Democrat, says Biden put his family ahead of the country.
I thought Democrats were supposed to like fall in line and that they were falling all over themselves.
Now Biden's legacy is in the crosshairs again.
This pardon is just deflating. Joe Biden just made clear his son Hunter is above the law.
Bullshit. He doesn't trust the people that are coming in. They're vindictive assholes and they're dangerous. He talked about it openly. He trusted the Justice Department when it's run properly. But if somebody, all right, especially from the side that believes that the Justice Department is already weaponized and had pardoned the fuck out of everybody on their way out the door, including Paul Manafort, who is one of the singular most disgusting people on the planet for reasons I have stated before.
A really bad look for him, and I think it's potentially a destructive thing for his party. People's opinions that this system is somehow stacked in favor of Democrats against Republicans. I think this looks like the nation's head Democrat using the system for his own benefit.
This pardon will tarnish Joe Biden's legacy. I mean, Joe Biden.
Yeah, you'll still drive across the bridges he built. You'll still use the internet he pushed in. You'll still be driving the electric cars in 10 years that you charge on the fucking system that he put across this country of charging stations. You'll still be walking around with human beings that aren't poisoned by lead paint and lead in the water, giving them holes in their prefrontal cortex that turn them into violent, impulsive criminals. You'll get to experience that, but then you'll go, I don't know. What was the thing about his son? I don't even remember.
Let's be clear here. He lied to us for a long time.
The media is...
No, he didn't. Circumstances changed. Fuck you.
Even having Democrats do the walk of shame for lying to their audience. Watch this.
In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him.
What does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It had already fallen
that
through.
Only was, sorry?
When you reacted, this was when the deal had fallen through.
Democrats have made liars out of the media.
Also, they were trying to redo it. They were trying to see if there would be another deal, or they would look at the terms of it, whatever. Like, again, hashing around, who cares?
And look,
honestly, don't care.
The Democrats are out of power and the media is out of viewers. Democrat numbers guru Nate Silver is so angry he's telling Democrats to not vote for any Democrat in 2028 who doesn't repudiate the pardon within 48 hours.
Hold on. Hi, Nate Silver. I'm Hal Sparks, and I'm going to run for president in 2028, and I think the pardon's awesome. Fuck you. Go back to crunching numbers. No one gives a shit about your political opinion. Why the ever-loving fuck would I care about the philosophy, ideals, or morals of a pollster? Especially one that thinks that there's any ballast, any balance at all between a guy who will make women second-class citizens in this fucking country, and a guy who and therefore a woman following him that would have fought to get those rights back. Fuck off. Fuck off. Don't care. Bye. Shoo. Child.
But Eric Holder, Obama's wingman, says the pardon was warranted. Had his name been Joe Smith, it would have been a different story. He's right. If Hunter was Joe Smith, he'd be in prison for drug possession, sex trafficking, tax evasion, money laundering.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. You cannot take someone's writings and put them in jail for things they say they did in those writings, even if they're true. You can't take a picture of crack and use it as evidence in court. You actually have to have the crack tested, and then you have to have an expert come in and go, yep, that was crack. I don't give a fuck how many videos you have. It doesn't matter. No one's ever going to go to jail for fucking video of white rocks. I don't care who the fuck you are. Ever, not ever. And if they could, we'd be in deep shit as a country, dum-dum. He wouldn't have been charged for any of this shit. You only know about it because of pictures on his phone and shit he wrote in his book. Good Lord. And I'm guessing somebody at that level also has lawyers that would tell him, hey, don't write this in your, they can charge you for shit you say in your memoir. Do you think anybody would ever write a fucking memoir again? Are you out of your mind? What the fuck? You're saying it was crack. Yes, it was crack. Right. It's, again, has anybody ever seen the movie Deep State? Or not Deep State, listen to me. Deep Cover, beg your pardon. I got a 2-track mind right now. 7 tracks. And sometimes they crisscross. Deep Cover, it's an amazing movie. Jeff Goldblum, Lawrence Fishburne. It's fantastic. And there's a setup scene in the beginning where they show how they're kind of Lawrence Fishburne's character is undercover, and he gets deep undercover, and he gets his first deal, his first bigger deal, to see if they can trust him. And when he goes into court, who shows up to be his lawyer but Jeff Goldblum, and it turns out the stuff he was selling or trying to buy was not drugs at all. It was baby laxative. It was mannitol, right? The baby laxative. And so technically speaking, it has to be thrown out, even if he thought he was buying drugs at the time, because you don't have him on tape saying, is that the crack is that the coke I'm trying to buy, right? They don't have him on tape. They just have him money, bag of white powder. Well, the white powder turned out to be baby laxative, and he didn't say what it was. He told him to go fuck himself. And then his lawyer shows up and goes, yeah, that wasn't a drug. It was a legal drug. That's how it works. When they tested it, turned out to be baby laxative. And since he didn't admit that it was crack, or coke at the time, they would process it into crack is the idea, you can't go to jail for it. I don't care how many pictures you have of a fucking dummy bag of this, unless you have somebody saying, I've got the dope, or whatever it is. You have to have them on tape saying that they think this is something, right? That's the point. Then you need evidence. None of that shit is in any of this. That's why they got him on the gun charge, because it's on a form. He filled out a form. You still have the evidence, right? Taxes, because you still have the tax records. Nobody gives a shit what videos you have on your, like, Jesus Christ. Does this motherfucker think that all influencers are rich? I mean, I see videos of them in hot cars, wearing hot clothes and jewelry and all that shit. They must be rich, right? Your Honor, I will testify in court that all these Instagram models are rich, live in really nice houses, and drive really nice cars. Why? Because I saw little square videos of it rolling through my feed. It must be true. See what I mean? It's an exaggeration, but there you go.
Foreign lobbying and probably wire fraud.
Probably? What? Probably? Are you saying that Comer doesn't know what he's doing?
Joe Smith would have been in federal lockup sharing a cell with Mookie. Anyway, we were told.
Oh, right. Because every other person, at the very least, in jail is black and has a kind of a gang-sounding nickname. Thanks, Jesse. Glad to know you still got it from your old days of walking around Chinatown using a racist accent to make fun of Chinese people.
That a president who pardons a family member is guilty of obstruction.
In the event the president pardons anyone in an investigation in which the president is a witness, a subject, or the target, those investigative files will all be turned over to the Congress. The Congress ought to know whether the president is using the pardon power to obstruct justice. The American people have a right to know. I think it is clearly constitutional. It doesn't prohibit him from granting a pardon, even a pardon he shouldn't grant. But it does say that we will be able to at least find out whether the president is using this power to shield himself from liability.
Joe Biden, by pardon.
But thanks to the SCOTUS, even if he was, you couldn't do anything about it. Right? It's just for the record. And also, I agree with everything Adam Schiff said there. Fucking have fun, guys. Dig around. Go for it. Because he pardoned him as president using the official powers of the presidency. So therefore, you can't link him to any of the stuff. And if you take the pardon as evidence to go look for more evidence into him, even if you find it, fruit of the poison tree, boring, out.
Hunter was kind of pardoning himself. But the media doesn't think Joe went far enough. They want a pocket pardon.
I hope that President Biden will also issue preemptive pardons to all of those people threatened by the injustice of what will become the Department of Justice in the Trump administration. That, of course, includes Jack Smith and all of his staff, many Department of Justice lawyers. It includes President Biden himself, although we don't know that anyone can legally pardon themselves. He will need a pardon because he is going to be harassed and charged for no crimes whatsoever.
Why would Joe need blanket pardons for himself and his son if he...
Because he will be harassed. That will cut the harass. That's what she just said, dum-dum. You do realize when they play these videos, we see them too, right?
He didn't do anything wrong. If he didn't want Hunter to do prison time, he could have just commuted his sentences and said he dished out blanket immunity, absolving Hunter of all past and future sins. The pardon date...
No. The pardon stops the day he wrote it. If he lies to the FBI tomorrow, he can go to jail for it. He just doesn't have to.
Dates back all the way to 2014. Now, what...
Which is when the tax stuff started.
What happened in 2014? That's when Hunter joined Burisma, and that's when Joe was handed the Ukraine portfolio. In a way, Trump was impeached for wanting to...
No, he had it before then. Also, 2014 is when they were invaded.
To look into what Joe pardoned Hunter for. And this pardon covers the Ukraine.
By the way, does this asshole remember why in 2014 we needed the vice president of the United States to deal with what was going on in Ukraine? Anybody remember? Euromaidan? The fact that Paul Manafort, the guy who would run Trump's campaign for fucking free, was the guy who suggested they use snipers and agent provocateurs in the crowd to start shit to give the cops a reason to fire back so that they could literally kill the leaders of the opposition who were entrenched around the Capitol. But they could snipe them in the head. That was the goal. Whatever happened to Yanukovych, the guy that Manafort worked for? Does anybody remember in 2014? Hold on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see if they're... Yanukovych was the president before, two presidents before Zelensky. And Paul Manafort worked for him. He's the guy who ran Trump's campaign. Whatever happened to that guy? Gee, he lives peacefully and comfortably in Russia. Ah, really? The former leader of Ukraine, who was ousted in an election and refused to go, fled. He fled Russia in February after protests in which more than 100 people died. I will say it openly. He asked to be driven away to Russia, which we did. And the story about it is fucking fascinating. I don't know if it's in here, but this is more of them talking about the stuff in the Donbass. That's in 2014. The story about like the night ride where they had to fly him to one place and then he had to get in a car and drive like a couple of hours to another airplane because they couldn't fly out of where they were. So they could basically get him into the Donbass where Russia could provide cover. So, in 2014, February 2014, might have been about the time. And by the way, it might make sense that that's why Burisma asked, previous to that, asked Hunter Biden to join the team there. It's because Russia knew what it was planning. That's why you don't want your kids working in these situations. That's why you don't want the opportunity for compromise to happen, because they very well could have taken fucking Hunter hostage or killed him outright to trigger some greater thing if they wanted to, if they found it strategically advantageous. Yeah.
Ukraine money, the Russia money, the China money, and the diamonds, the paintings, and all those back taxes. Got to hand it to the big guy. He tied this.
You don't have to pay back taxes on money nobody knows you made. And if you find out about it, you also found out where it came from. And if you knew where it came from and it was criminal, charge him.
This operation up with a perfect bow. He had his son fly all over the world in his jet, selling access to his dad, hoovering up.
Also, what did they get?
Up all the foreign cash all over the world, not paying.
Also, if he's hoovering up the cash all over the world and he's not paying taxes, if he's the bag man, it's not his money in the first place. And if it was part of a big plan and their whole thing was they've got this corruption machine running around, then either the money was why did the money go through actual bank accounts with his name on it if he was hiding it? I'm still trying to figure out how this greatest corrupt family in history went, right? I'm trying to figure out how there's this big conspiracy, but with very little effort to actually make it, to conspire to hide it.
Any taxes on it, setting up shady shell companies to hide the money from the IRS, and then paying for the Biden family lifestyle. Because none of the Biden family members could make a clean living on their own. Then he got...
First of all, what the fuck are you talking about? Joe Biden was vice president of the United States and sold his book, and his book made $20 million. They had never seen money like that before. They were plenty rich by their standards. Where's his investment portfolio that you're like, oh, this motherfucker's all in it for the money?
Caught before an election, the FBI and the CIA covered it up. His son was found guilty, pardons him. So the family gets to keep the cash, and Hunter doesn't have to pay a price. If you're...
Also, keep what cash?
Running a criminal enterprise, it's brilliant. Joe really pulled it off. But he didn't do it without a lot of help. We believe Hunter Biden was an intelligence operation, whether he even knew it or not. He was going all over the world selling access to his dad, right under the nose of our intel agencies.
Okay, real quick. All I want, and I know this is a big ask, I understand. I know I'm walking down a gravel road in a wooded area with no street lamps, no light coming from anywhere. I realize I am wandering into the darkness. Here's what I would like. One situation, where the policies that Joe Biden advocated for or carried out were not in alignment with, especially when they're talking about this period of time, with the Obama White House and the directives of the Congress itself and the after fact in terms of a country that was attacked by Russia during his presidency? What did Joe, again, because what I can see, hold on, from what the actual on Earth One news is, apparently China bribed Biden to skull fuck them. See what I mean? China's economy is in the shitter right now. It's horrible. So what were they paying to get? Joe Biden is president, and it's been the worst 4 years China has seen since before they opened up. So this asshole owes me an explanation. Any of the people who believe that China bought, China money, and they bought access, or that Hunter sold access to Joe Biden, what did they get in exchange? They got fucked, is what they got. Now, the first year of Trump's presidency, he killed TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was an alliance of countries in the South China Sea, all the way up to South Korea, down through Japan and Malaysia and Thailand and Cambodia and all this, right? All those, right? As a bulwark against Chinese hegemony in the industrial capacity and the materials that they had taken over in the area. This was the pushback. We'd create this trade alliance with these other countries so that together they might be able to push back against China taking over the entire trade in that, they would have taken Australia was the idea. And as soon as he dropped TPP, what happened? $17 million in account that he got, and he kissed Xi's ass for 4 fucking years. He kissed Xi's ass until August of 2020. And he was a cheap fucking date. So what did China get from Joe Biden? What'd they get? They got cut off from chips for their defense industry. They just retaliated because of Biden's new stuff. Yeah, here you go. China hits back. This just happened. Fuck you. Hold on, where is this? I don't know why this page has to be. I have to shrink it down, maybe. China hits back at Biden's chip restrictions by banning shipments of key materials to the United States, meaning, I guess, rare earth minerals is what they're going for. China's Ministry of Commerce said on Tuesday it will halt shipments of key materials to the United States, includes that are used in semiconductors, batteries, and solar panels. China's Ministry of Commerce said it was responding to a fresh U.S. chip export bans. They've retaliated against it. Guess what? You know what? No one cares. Go ahead. Fuck it. You know why? Because I think it's... Materials. Because right outside of, remember that company I was telling you guys about that is right outside of Vegas on the drive to Los Angeles? There's this old strip mine that was going under, and then these people rolled in and they realized that rare earth minerals are not rare at all. They're just in a pile of dirt. They're really small, so they're rare amongst the dirt, but they're not rare on the earth. Got it? Okay. That's what they're talking about. Well, guess what, motherfucker? There's a giant store of them just outside of Las Vegas in the desert, about 45 minutes from where I'm standing. MP Materials stock jumps as China bans export of rare minerals to the United States. MP shares surged as China's banning blah, blah, blah. Market domination host Julie Hyman, and they take a closer look, blah, blah, blah. Where's the, yeah, this is their story about it or whatever. Hold on. Let's see.
Market share. It seemed to be that was the supposition based on this. So we'll see if this ban ends up getting extended, and if
materials, those shares rising as China says it will ban the export of several rare minerals to the United States. You can see
MP Materials is a mining company that is brand new and is, by the way, the most ecologically, according to them and everybody that I've read about, again, like they're the most like pollutant-free mining facility on Earth. They are taking every possible precaution to make it as clean as possible. And the environment that they're in, it's in the middle of the fucking desert. So they don't even have to take that much caution because the land around there will kill you anyways. But seriously, this is an American company that mines this stuff here. And China's like, you can't have our stuff anymore. And Biden was like, guess what? We got plenty. Fuck you. Bye. Here's another one. MP Materials stock rockets as China fires back with export controls. Let me see if this whole thing is in here. Latest vote of confidence came on Monday as DA Davidson lifted its MP stock price target from 25 to 25 from 23. 26 to 23 last week. They're expecting it to go up, boost output and revenue. Despite a 23% drop in the price of rare earth oxide, REO, concentrate produced at its Mountain Pass, California mining complex, MP still saw revenue rise of 20% from a year ago to $62.9 million in quarter three. Production of REO exceeded its next best quarter by 15%. That output is previously all shipped to China for processing. However, MP is now ramping up output at its stage 2 processing facility, paid for by you folks. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The funds that went into creating the processing facility that is on site was part of the Infrastructure Act. Do you think your average American knows that? Do you think your below average American knows that? See what I did there?
Yep, about 12%. That was just...
Hold on, sorry. Go away. I'm supposed to trigger this asshole.
Who had a clear view of who was dirty and who was being blackmailed. Notice
also, what did they get for their blackmail? In 2014, the fucker who ran Burisma, for fuck's sake, he worked for Russia. He was a sock puppet. So if they were looking for leverage, it was Russia looking for leverage. Right? So what has Russia gotten out of its deal from Joe Biden? If you don't give us what we want, we will release lots of shit on your son and stuff. How about fuck you, click? We will make sure that our boy Trump treats him like shit forever and ever. I just pardoned him. Fuck you, click. This is geopolitical, this pardon.
Everyone around Hunter Biden's either in prison, awaiting sentencing, fled the country, or just disappeared. Everyone Hunter was talking to was on FBI wiretap. And every time someone sniffed around the Biden family, they got blocked. The IRS whistleblowers started looking into the big guy.
Same bullshit Comer says. And then what do? They got demoted. Why? Because they literally wanted to use the phrase big guy, which was from evidence they had no chain of custody on. And if they'd have brought it in, the entire case would have collapsed.
Blocked. FBI informants ignored.
And they still went ahead with charging him and then working towards a plea deal. If those guys had been allowed to bring in the big guy shit, the whole case would have gotten thrown out. Then how pissed would you be?
Secret Service cleaned up all his messes. The DOJ tried to give him a sweetheart deal just before a judge smoked it out. And when Congress wanted to talk to the sugar brother, the guy who paid millions out of pocket to cover Hunter's taxes, the CIA told investigators, stand down. The sugar brother was untouchable.
And by the way, I gotta applaud the use of the CIA in this, is because you can never know if it's actually true because it's the CIA. They're like the first line of bullshit, the magic just add bullshit fall guy for everything. Probably a CIA thing. This is like This is like Kurt Metzger level idiocy.
This pardon is the deep state's screw you before Trump returns. Catch me if you can. Click here to.
No, not catch me if you can. You lost. You lost, Rock. You're a fucking loser. You lost. So, sorry, I went a little over, but I adore you guys, and that's just part and parcel to it. By the way, just so you know, this weekend, I am doing an event. I'm going to bring up the stuff. There we go. Yeah, here it is. I'm this weekend. I fly out Thursday night, and I will be gone for 3 days because I am a part of the Kiss Cancer Goodbye charity event that is happening there. And it's in Sarasota. If you're in the Florida area, I will be taking a red eye to Tampa so I can get in time to do my show. It may be a little late depending on when I can get my hotel, but I plan on doing my regular morning show, and then we'll see what the timing is on the afternoon show because I'll be on East Coast time. Just so you know. So and at that point, they are Anton Fig is on drums in this Dynasty and Unmasked Revisited thing at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna want to see that. I got to be honest. So I may have to do my show earlier than usual so that I can go to that thing as part of it. And then there's Handsome Devils doing this, and there's a salute to the Kiss solo albums. Now I'm on the next day because I'm doing something with the Elder. I'm also doing a brunch on Saturday that I'm hosting with Bruce Kulick and Jean Beauvoir. And then let's see. And then Sunday, I'm doing. I think I might be part of this thing in the end. And there's a Kiss comedy R&R style. We're doing that at 2 o'clock. We're doing a comedy version of Family Feud, like deep Kiss trivia kind of stuff. But it's all to raise money for cancer research and the like. And so. I was asked by Bruce Kulick and some of the others to come in and do it, and it's a big honor, and they're lovely folks. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to try and do my shows as usual, and then the only thing, there's a slight possibility because of when that brunch lunch thing is, since I'm hosting it, that I might have to do a best of on Saturday for radio, but hopefully we won't have to, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. That said, that's just letting you guys know that that's happening this weekend. Is it Chip o'clock? I feel like it's Chip o'clock. It might be Chip o'clock. Also, let me hold on. I think I've got too many windows open, and that's why my chat thing isn't working, or my switches aren't working. I'm gonna move this around, double up on this guy, and explain to me. There we go. It's got to. There you go. Work around. There you go. Let's see if I can. My buttons work now. What's happening? How about this one? Yeah, no, oh yeah, okay, there we go. Now they've woken up. I am the master. All right. And so hopefully. Nope. Okay. They're just being dicks today. My buttons are being weird. I got too many buttons. That's the thing. So love you guys, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can grab. I don't know if Paul will be there. They usually don't tell if Paul or Gene are going to be there because it becomes a big surprise, and then it's like, hey, they announce it a couple days before, but it's a regular thing. So they put it on, and then the other guys show up, and it's kind of like a Kiss Fest and stuff like that. And it's put on by like an adjacent fan group, but it's signed off on by the band, and it's a whatever. Anyway, it's lovely. Hold on 1 second. I did overload my buttons. It's absolutely true. Talk amongst yourself, and I'll go see if I can find a Kit Kat. And then we'll go to a Jetta. Chip is a chunk. Chip is a chunk. Chip is a chunk. This is Chip, everybody. Chip is a chunk. Chip a chunk. Oh, buddy. Yeah. You like that? How are you? How's my boy? Oh, is it good? Oh, is it good? Is that a scratch, buddy? Is that a scratch? Hello. What's it doing? What you doing? That's my Chip. Oh, by the way, sometimes Chip sees a fan, an actual ceiling fan, and freaks out and runs, and we don't quite know why. Do you want to see if you can swat it? What do you want to do? Yeah. So, how's your junk? He's a harbor seal pretending to be a cat. There's a boy. There you go. Do you want a treat? Oh, do you want a treat? Yeah. I'm gonna go get him a treat, and oh, there you go. Yeah, and wait. Oh, I put it in the other room, didn't I? I don't have my. Sorry, you're just gonna have to enjoy me with cat hair on me. There's nothing you can do about it, ladies. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what the thing with. You know what I like is when I get a roller, and I try to, you know. Oh, it worked. Look at that. Hit that like, share the show, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody on Instagram. What's happening? Subscribe to whatever. Follow and the stuff, and also the Iraq. And Twitch. Let me see some emotes. And Twitch people, please subscribe. Our subscription number should be at about 1,000, and we're like 600. Yeah, just saying. Lovely. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with Philip Ittner, and I don't know, do we have another morning guest tomorrow? Yes, I can hang this. Yes, absolutely. See if we, what is it you can say? My mom. Oh, Andrea, I may need to talk to you. If I can't get in my hotel room, I might need to borrow internet to do the show before. That might be the thing. If I can't get into a hotel, I might need to do that. Keep our fingers crossed. Good. Major Ojeda and Philip tomorrow. Cool. Rockin'. Okay. See you guys tomorrow.